Hey guys, welcome back, it's Friday at last. It's time for more RimWorld. I've been waiting for this all week. I know I say that every single week, because it's true. I've been waiting for this all week. Hey Jules, welcome man. Bobcat, welcome. What do we need to do here today? Winter is a-comin', but that's not a problem because we've got, more food than actually exists on the planet. So I don't think we need to worry about that. Spike Little Girl, welcome! Welcome. Sorry again about your untimely demise. Totally not my fault. You're gonna hear words like colony mismanagement thrown around. Look, let's be brutally honest here. I'm not going to sit here and say people haven't died. I'm not going to do that. Hey, I'm doing very well, Jules. Thank you. I hope the same is true for you. I'm not going to say, Spike Little Girl, that mistakes have not been made. I am an honest man at the end of the day. Just at the end of the day. The rest of the day, it's all up for grabs. But I'm an honest man at the end of the day, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you people are not dead. People are dead. Many people are dead, in fact. Slick Rick is dead, which is a tragedy, but something that I believed for years anyway, so it's good he's finally dead. But in return for that, we've captured some more prisoners. So we've got Kraus here, who we captured, and he'll be ours in no time. He's only got a resistance of 10, and Bamalu's still here, resistance 19.9, and we're still working on Dave Navarro. Thank you so much, Andreas. Thank you. That's a huge compliment. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Welcome to RimWorld. Welcome to RimWorld Friday, where I basically just WASD around the screen and talk complete and utter nonsense. I wanted to... Okay, here's the thing that I noticed while I was kind of loading this up here. We've got a ton of Nutrimine. We've got a ton of the herbal medicine. We have no cloth that I'm aware of. Do we actually have cloth? No, we have blue fur, chinchilla fur. Lord knows where we got that from. Probably from chinchillas. Martin, welcome. Anonapig, welcome. Nikos, welcome. Oh my goodness. Actually, we all going to be dead. Yeah, you're all going to be dead. Yeah, that is 100% correct, Nikos. Everyone's going to die. Although, the original 3 colonists are still alive. Penge, Mech, and Stabby. Still here. It's just that, unfortunately, Bristly, Spike Little Girl, Frog, and Slick Rick are all dead. So, that's happened. Boss Ross, welcome. Why are we not playing World of Davecraft? I love that game, Boss Ross. I absolutely love that game. And I was recording some of it today, and I found, even more depth to the depth that I thought there already was. It's early access. It needs work. There's no question of that. It's not polished. But I kind of see where it's going and where the direction of the game is going. And then I actually just got a comment from somebody about what the next step is that the developers have planned. And it's, dungeons, parties, that kind of thing. It's really like watching an ant farm. It's creating a world and actually watching... I guess the thing is, it's just not like random sprites moving around. They're doing things, and that's really, really cool. The marks she leaves, however, are internal. Stabby leaves an impression on everyone, Anonapig. Stabby leaves a brutal impression on everyone. I know, MMORPG Tycoon 2 is very good. That kind of came out of nowhere to me. I had been aware of it. I'd known about it. I had it on my wish list, and then Dances with Sheep had come up in the Discord. Shameless self-promotion, link down below. And I said, hey, check this out. I like that. That's cool. I am checking that out, actually. I'd been checking it out and putting it on my wish list, and I actually just chit-chatted to Penge very briefly about it because it totally seems like his kind of game, too. I'm not going to say I would kill, because that's extreme, but I would certainly injure for a World of Pengecraft, a World of Tea-craft or something. So everyone needs to go tell Penge to play MMORPG Tycoon 2. We all need to harass him just consistently to play MMORPG Tycoon 2. Because tell me, as good as World of Davecraft is, and it is, by the way, we all know we're waiting for World of Pengecraft. We all know we're waiting for the Land of Cupboard or something like that. I avoid her at networking events. We all do. Anonapig. We all do. We just sort of stand off in the corner and hope Stabby doesn't stab anyone. Yeah, no, Andres is right in with it. Yeah, look, I love World of Davecraft. It's an amazing game. P.S., by the way, I just recorded one today. Award-winning game, I might add. Award-winning game, but I would desperately want to see World of Pengecraft. I think that would be amazing because it's going to be endless, countless hours of faffing about. he would just do what I did, just better. And he'd just place decoratives all day. Anyway, back to RimWorld, because I did actually have a plan. I think the animals are like a zillion % fine for the amount of hay that we have here. So this one that's rice, and this one, no, just this one, please, thank you. That one's hay. Okay, I want to convert this to cloth. Where is cloth? Cotton. There we go. I want to convert that to cotton so we can get some cloth so we can make our own medicine, because we have all the ingredients except cloth. The doctor is in briefly. Welcome, Dr. Shouting Stone. Dr. Shouting Stone. Oh, Vosros, did somebody perhaps gift Pench that? You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say it. You actually beat me to it. I was planning to do that. I actually had that loaded up. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I just sent him this. The only thing that stopped me is I know he is so slammed right now with stuff to get out for the channel. Barbara, welcome. I know he's so slammed. Obviously, we've all kind of noticed that Penn just had a bit of a growth spurt lately thanks to the Guild 3. So I just didn't want him to... I didn't want to overwhelm him with yet another game because I know he's super, super slammed. Oh, you haven't done it yet. Okay, perhaps somebody will. Vosros. Perhaps somebody, like myself or somebody in chat, I don't know, might do that. But we all know we're waiting for World of Penchcraft. What's in the cargo pods? That by the way, that does not by any stretch of the imagination means stop watching World of Davecraft, because World of Davecraft is awesome. That game just totally came out of left field for me. I started playing it, I did the tutorial, and I was like wicked into it. The level of detail. Oh, Vosros. If you're looking for a game where I blow all my money on decoratives, just wait till the next episode. I am just a fiend for blowing all my money on decoratives. But it kind of has a point in this game because it does actually make the players happier if there's a lot of good scenery. So it's not completely useless. And I win an award, so there's that. Willow, welcome. We were saying, Willow, about Stabby that probably people would avoid meeting Stabby at a network event because the first impressions that Stabby leaves are usually the last impressions that Stabby leaves. So, in a networking scenario, we may talk to somebody else rather than Stabby. I'm going to play RimWorld while watching RimWorld. Excellent choice. I do it. I watch Penge's RimWorld on Friday nights while I'm playing my own RimWorld, my little side games that I have going on. Okay. The cotton. Yes, we're doing cotton. We're actually doing a thing in RimWorld. I know, it's shocking, but we're doing a thing in RimWorld. I should maybe make the barn bigger. The barn's a little cramped. The chicken has to sleep outside. That's terrible. I'm sorry, chicken, but I see you produced an egg. Oh, somebody already got up and got it. Good. How's the Great Wall coming? Because I think it's almost done. Yeah, we're very close to finishing off the Great Wall, with multiple trap corridors that are unnecessary in terms of a raid, but very necessary in terms of not having to bother going out hunting. I'm waiting to see what happens with Stig in Crossroads when the Hugs and Kisses DLC hits on Valentine's. Move aside, Mrs. Dave. There's a new love in Crossroads Dave's life. I'm so hitting that stupid bell button for the next video. Decorating. Oh, you don't worry, Barbara. There's all sorts of decorating in the next one. Like my favorite motto, build a man a fire and he'll be warm for a day, set a man on fire and he'll be warm for the rest of his life. Oh, Stabby. That's so true. So very true. Oh, right. We finally finished fabrication. We should probably get to making some components, because that's the only thing we can do right now. I don't know, throw in another 10 components. Why not? We don't actually have very many of those. Oh, we have 5 eggs. Oh, the chickens are actually doing something useful. I thought we just had a single egg, which is less useful than 5 eggs. 5 eggs is generally better than a single egg. Presto is hauling things. I am so happy to have dogs back. Terry Pratchett has a hilarious but true take for everything. That is very true. Oh, it's a Terry Pratchett line. Okay, I missed that one. It sounded like him. I should have figured that out by myself. He really was a genius. No lie there. My very first Pratchett, I had heard of him. Well, I knew of him because I'd read Good Omens. I was a big Neil Gaiman fan, and when Good Omens came out, I'm like, okay, I like Neil Gaiman, I'll read this book. And it's the funniest thing I've ever read. It's probably my second favorite book of all time, second only to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, if only because I have a longer, more emotional connection with Hitchhiker's Guide. I started reading that when I was a child and just kept going. So it's like a lifetime experience of Hitchhiker's Guide. Otherwise, were it not for the emotional connection, Hitchhiker's Guide and Good Omens would be totally tied for my favorite book. And I thought, well, that's really, really, really funny stuff. Mehdi, welcome. Really funny stuff. And Neil Gaiman's fantastic, but I know this humor is not Neil Gaiman, so it must be Terry Pratchett. So I thought, well, I'll go check out this Terry Pratchett guy. And I was in like a secondhand bookstore, and they had a copy of Interesting Times and I believe Feet of Clay. And I picked those up. They were very inexpensive. And I'll just grab these. And I read Interesting Times, and that was it. I was all done. I was just sucked right into Terry Pratchett. I went out and bought everything I could get by him. I would probably say I've read about 75 to 80% of what he's put out in terms of the Discworld series. I've touched on a couple of his others and other series, but they're not my favorites. I mean, Discworld is always going to be my favorite. Martin, welcome. And Harriet and Charlotte, welcome. Hitchhiker's Guide is a great book. And I say I have kind of an emotional attachment to it. I think I was about 8 or 9 years old, and my cool older uncle, well, he was cool back then. He's far less than cool now, because he actually hasn't really matured since way back then. But anyway, at the time, he was kind of my cool uncle, gave me a copy of it. He was kind of way ahead of his time. He's like, check out this book. It's really, really funny, and you're going to like it. And I was like 8. But he gave it to me, and I read it, and I loved it, and I've been reading it ever since. I couldn't even begin to tell you the number of times I've reread it. But Hitchhiker's Guide will always have that sort of emotional connection. But Good Omens is just as funny. In terms of laughing out loud kind of stuff, Good Omens is just as funny as that. Birdbrains, you're talking about RimWorld, right? What is Birdbrains talking about? Oh, looking for mods. Did you see the koala mod, Birdbrains? Seeing as we spent a solid hour last week talking about koalas, did you see the koala mod? I think Ray posted that in the Wee Hours Discord. Shameless self-promotion, link down below. I think Ray posted that in the Wee Hours Discord, so you might be able to find it there. You got me a koala for Christmas, Martin. That'd be great. I already have it installed. You already have the koala thing installed. Do you love RimWorld more than Crossroads Inn? Wow, what a good question. Yes and no. Yes and no. I think Crossroads Inn, as much as I love it, and I really do, that was exactly the game I needed at the time. I was looking for something exactly like that, and then there it came. I mean, it's a buggy nightmare, but it's a glorious buggy nightmare. Crossroads Inn is a little more finite to me in that, I could see getting to a point and going, okay, there's not really much more I can do in Crossroads Inn. Whereas RimWorld, with the randomness of it, it's kind of a different game every time. It's not. In RimWorld, you basically end up doing the same things over and over because you get halfway decent at the game and you're like, okay, I know I need to do this and research that and set up this thing and whatnot and whoozy thing. But RimWorld, I think, if you're going to chain me to a desert island and say you can only play RimWorld or Crossroads Inn, I'd probably pick RimWorld. That doesn't necessarily mean I don't like Crossroads Inn. It just means in terms of long replayability over time, RimWorld's going to probably take it there. I need to send Dave a koala for his birthday. You got ages to figure that out then. My birthday just passed. You got totally ages to figure out how to get a koala into the country. Mods are divide in 2 major categories, vanilla and enhanced. I would assume that koala is enhanced because that's totally advanced class stuff there. Koalas is hardcore. That is not for noobs at all. They'll think you're one of them, and since koalas don't attack other koalas, they'll love you. Yeah, I know we kind of touched on this, and when I say touched on this, we talked about it for a solid hour last week. I was kind of reviewing the footage and like, wow, I really talked a lot about koalas. Anyone tuning in who didn't know me any better might think I was a tad weird, and they'd be correct. But I know we kind of touched on this last time, but I can think of nothing better than just lying down underneath a eucalyptus tree and having koalas drop on me. I think that's the most comfortable, yummy, lovely thing ever. Just found a game for David Steam, Stone, an interactive story about hungover koala detective. Oh dear. A hungover koala detective. That kind of sounds like my early 20s, if I'm honest. I just want something that adds some gameplay later on. I remember the very early Starbound days when they named their builds after an increasingly angry koala states. Is there levels of koala anger? Is there sort of passive koala, slightly miffed koala, don't go anywhere near this koala? Because I'm learning so much about koalas. I didn't realize they were in any way aggressive. How could they possibly be? Anna Banana, welcome. You know they're riddled with the clap. I did not know that. No, actually, as I just said, I'm learning far more about koalas than I ever thought. Ever thought. Does that bother them? Do they need to get like a koala-specific penicillin shot for that? Is there a koala doctor for those kinds of things? Or do they just sort of carry on as usual? Because how much does that really bother them over the long course? I mean, it bothers humans, but koalas just might be broadly met to that. Okay, RimWorld. I should probably at least vaguely attempt to play RimWorld before we just devolve into WASD adventures here. I could use some more storage sooner rather than later. The healing plants down here are coming along great, and we have finished planting the cotton. That's obviously going to take a bazillion years to grow. So what else could I do? I should probably just map out finishing the Great Wall. I wish I had more steel. I really could use some more steel. How are we broadly doing on stone blocks? We have a lot of sandstone, but it's probably not the best thing to be constructing walls out of. I mean, it's got the word sand in the title. I feel that's not very strong. Are we? Yeah, we are making blocks. Okay. And we have a darn good stockpile up here somewhere. Yeah, you take all the blocks you want out of that. Stone looks awesome. My stone wall? Or stone in general? Are you just really fond of rocks? Because that's okay. That's, how geologists makes their money. But the Glittertech Sparkle Rimatronics and goes on. I literally have no idea what that means, but I'm very much in favor of it. Mostly because it's got Glittertech Sparkle. And although that's very difficult to say, it sounds really, really neat. Oh, the koala game. Oh, okay. Got it. All right. We're on a different train. I'll probably just let you guys talk amongst yourselves because I'm just making it more complicated at this point. Dave Navarro, I see you're up and about. How's the old prisoner thing working? Down to 9.1, and we're about to knock that down a little more. Merms, you're one of our newer colonists. Oh, Charlotte is pregnant. Oh, good. We're going to have more llamas around here. Alpacas, rather. The warpacas. We will have more warpacas on duty. Excellent. Good. Congratulations, Charlotte. You're around here somewhere. There you are. Well, you've got a nice warm barn to sleep in, and you've got tons of food. Speaking of tons of food, let's just get some kibble going, because that hay won't last forever. So, I don't know, make a bunch of kibble, please. I'd go, looks like it'd make a great movie. I'd go see that. I never see movies. Mrs. Dave and I rarely see movies. We probably like 2 or 3 times a year. It's got to be something we really want to see to get us out of the house, and we will only go to one specific movie theater. We've got to develop a hard line on that, because our local movie theater is it's like a small 2-screen theater, and it's one of those, like pseudo luxury theaters with the big comfy leather armchairs and like waiter service and stuff. You can have food delivered to your chair. So we only go there. We don't go to the mall anymore for movies. We've kind of moved past that, and the prices are basically exactly the same. That's the weird thing. It costs us no more to go to this, air quotes, luxury theater than it does to go to a mall. Do you, a grow-up call weight as 33 pounds? Oh, yeah, okay, I could see how 33 pounds dropping at me from a height might not be ideal. Does it make a difference if it's a very, very cuddly 33 pounds? Because that makes a difference in my world. Yeah, Dave Navarro is out of bed, finally. Finally, right? It's taken him like 2 game seasons to get out of bed, but he's up and walking around. I notice he's wearing a black leather trench coat, which just makes sense. This is totally Dave Navarro. How could you not look at that? His name is Navarro. He walked in the door with Navarro. I didn't change that name. That name spawned, and he looks like Dave Navarro, clearly. This is Dave Navarro. Minor break risk. What's your issue? What's your problem? Oh, it's Penge. Oh, what's your problem, Penge? You've been insulted. By whom? Who in God's name would insult Penge? That's just weird. You're hungry. We can deal with that. It's dark out. Yeah, that's because it's nighttime. Try to cope. And a colonist died. Just one? You only have one negative moodlet? Because we've lost a bunch of people. You've only got one. Which one did you care about? We should be able to take care of our people. Yeah, probably not so much. No. Oh, you've only got one negative moodlet for a colonist's death. We've lost several. So, when did that happen? I think just now, Willow. I mean, just as I started playing today, I think he finally got out of bed. Remind me, Dave Navarro, what is your deal? Are you good at things? Actually, you're not bad at all. You're broadly okay in several things. You're just dumb as a post. Again, Dave Navarro. You're just dumb as a bag of rocks, but apart from that, you're not completely terrible. You're very good with animals. Yeah, we'll put you on chicken duty. That's what's going to happen to you. And Kraus, how's your health since we shot you a bunch? Oh boy, we shot you a lot. Yeah, we shot you so many times, and the war packers were in there too. You've got some war packer industries. Stabby got a shot in. Stabbed with a knife in the left arm. Sort of a parting shot after everyone, shot Kraus here. Yeah, you've not done well. That'll teach you to radar camp. You've been shot many times. You've been stabbed by Stabby and a kick in the war packer there. So hopefully you'll be ours soon, and we can teach you the errors of your ways. Penge insults, did somebody profane over the tea and biscuits? No, Penge was insulted. Somebody insulted Penge, which seems weird. I can't really imagine why somebody would do that. It's a totally lovely person, but apparently somebody did. Merms, you're working on the things here, the blocks. Are you good at that? Well, you're not terrible at it. You're not terrible, and you have a burning passion for it, so you'll learn faster. Okay, well, good job you then, Merms. Welcome to the team. You're incapable of dumb labor. I bet Dave Navarro is pretty good at dumb labor. Could someone retell me the story of the burial chamber in the game? Barbara, it's just something I started doing, and I've kind of kept doing it in every RimWorld game. I just make this little Hall of the Dead. So I build sarcophagi for the 3 original colonists. So when they die, which knowing me, they will, when they die, they can be respectfully interned as the originators of the colony. And then every other dead body I dump in here, Indiana Jones style. So long after this RimWorld game is gone, some other me may come along and go, whoa, what's with all the skeletons in this chamber of horrors here? It's just kind of something I started doing, and it also is a very convenient dumping ground for dead bodies without having to go to the effort of burying them or burning them, and they're out of sight. So it does have, I guess, some degree of gameplay value too, because the colonists don't like to see dead bodies. We can just chuck them in the Hall of the Dead and close the door. I'd like to see a version of Murder on the Orient Express where one of the passengers is Stabby. It wouldn't get that far. The Poirot would just go, oh, it's Stabby. Yeah, I've solved the mystery. There's Stabby over there with a knife with blood on it. I think I can pretty much figure out what happens here. Since part of the mystery is why the corpse got stabbed so many times. That's true. It's just one person this time. Instead of, okay, spoiler alert coming. So I guess if you have never seen or read Murder on the Orient Express, first of all, that's rather silly. It's one of the best murder mysteries ever written. And the last movie version, whatever that came out like a year or so ago, that was really well done. It kind of took a lot of liberties. It's not 100% really true to what's going on, but it was very well done, very atmospheric. I liked it. So anyway, spoiler alert, I guess if you haven't encountered Murder on the Orient Express, I'm about to give away the ending to it, which is one of the most famous endings in any murder mystery ever, and it's why Agatha Christie was such a genius. So instead of everyone having done it, it would just be Stabby. It would throw the whole thing out of whack. It's just Stabby. It's not everyone. It's one person. This idea for a movie, clearly Pengiana Jones in the Hall of the Dead. There we go. Stabby only stabs when stabbing is necessary. Yes, but Stabby finds many opportunities that are necessary, that are deemed necessary. I think Stabby's concept of when is it okay to stab and when isn't it is very loose. Very, very loose and broad. I would say broad. I think if Stabby looks at what Stabby is doing during Stabby's day and says, I'm not 100% sure if I should stab this person, I think broadly it's going to be, I'll go ahead and stab them and figure it out later. Lars, welcome. Having a dumping zone for dead bodies called Ancient Burial Ground fits the tribal theme. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I like my little Hall of the Dead over here. Hey, again, it is just a very convenient place to put them. They'll rot away over time. I think this is just somebody's clothes. Oh, no, that's Frog. That's one of our colonists. Sorry, Frog. I could open the door, and that way the animals could eat the dead bodies. It is a source of food for them. They have no compunctions about that, and no problem at all eating corpses. But, you know, I think we're keeping them reasonably well fed, and we have this constant supply of hay over here, so that'll be fine. Progress on the Great Wall, please. Show me progress on the Great Wall. Okay, we need to finish this bit up. What are we lacking? Granite. How much granite do we have? Sandstone. We have some granite. Yeah, you guys could figure that out. Go ahead and finish that off for me, please. Anywhere we can... I know I've asked this a million times. Is there anywhere we can get steel? We've never finished bisecting this area here. I think I outlined that ages ago, and nobody's quite gotten around to do it. Jedi Time Lord, welcome! Welcome! Haven't seen you in ages. Welcome back. Thank you for coming by. I'm trying to see if I can find steel before somebody asks me a question about koalas and I don't do any more gameplay for another hour and a half. No, we just got no steel on this entire map. We've taken all the steel we can possibly get. Fussy, but there it is. Maybe if a trader comes by, I'll buy into some. Speaking of which, that's going to really slow down the old component issue because we don't have any steel. Yeah, see, that's going to be a problem. Now I really do need a trader. I've gone to all this effort to create the fabrication bench, and I have no steel. Stabby as a zombie. No, let's not imagine that. That seems even worse than Stabby not as a zombie. That seems terrible. You know what? Let's all agree never to imagine that ever again. Where am I going to get steel from? Where am I going to get steel? I need a trader. I need a trader to come by. Speaking of traders, are we making art? Are we doing anything artistic these days? Why don't you make a couple of large sculptures and a couple of small sculptures, and let me just see what you're making those out of. Definitely don't make them out of steel or wood. Make them out of stone blocks. Thank you. And same again with you. Okay, we're all on board with only making them out of stone blocks. Yeah, somebody get on that. Who's good at art around here? Is anyone good at art? Nadine's meh at art. Trader, or you can research deep mining. Yeah, deep mining's kind of a pain in the neck. I can go down that route, and I've played around with that myself. It's somewhat of a pain in the neck, and it just gets you steel, which is admittedly what I need. But when you don't need steel, it doesn't really do anything. Yeah, I guess your Penge is fairly artistic, but also has a lot else on his plate. I guess we're just going to have to focus on Nadine. Yeah, Nadine, you're in charge of artistic endeavors around here. Sculpture is just stabbing stone. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I think ultimately Stabby has found that stabbing is the way you just get through life. In a zombie horde versus Stabby, my money's on Stabby. I might be inclined to agree with that. I might be inclined to agree that stabbing in the head, Stabby's going to get a lot of stabbing done in the zombie apocalypse. Cyan, what are you doing? Are you just working on meals? Okay. We have so much food. Do we have a bill going for fine meals? Yeah, we do. Why are you not working on that? It's the top of the heap. Do you not want to work on that? Yeah, allow fresh, vegetarian, animal products. What are you lacking here? You can use eggs if you want to use eggs. In fact, you can use anything you want. Why are we not on meat? Oh, we probably don't have human meat. Yeah, probably don't do human meat. Yeah, let's not do that. Thank you. Okay, good. Ashley, welcome. Welcome, Ashley. I'm just fine. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You've been playing a lot of Hearts and Iron 4. Boy, that is a game that completely befuddles me. And RimWorld. Yeah, I've tried a couple of times at Hearts of Iron 4, and I retired defeated. I am just not smart enough to play Hearts of Iron 4. I've reached my intellectual limit with that game and several others. Crusader Kings 2 would be in there too. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I'm just not smart enough to play that. It's just better for me that I develop World of Davecraft. I think that's a better play for me. But Ashley, thank you for coming by. I'm very good, and I hope the same is true for you. Stabby is a good colonist. He may or may not be good at stuff, but always willing to take a stab at it. I see what you did there. Hearts of Iron 4 is a good but hard game. Yeah, it's it ain't no joke. I got like a game playing. I was playing it, and I was doing things, or at least I'm pretty sure I was doing things, and then I was dead. So that. You four-membered It's Friday. Welcome, Ray. Welcome. Ray, were you the one who dropped the koala mod for RimWorld in the Wee Hours Discord? Shameless self-promotion, link down below. I couldn't remember who had done it. Some Birdbrains was looking for mods, but apparently already has the koala one, and I thought it was you who had dropped that in there. World of Davecraft, soon to come with the koala quest lines. I should see, with the way you can redesign the monsters in that game, I should see if I can get something that looks vaguely like a koala. Because I have been kind of spider-centric in the game. I mean, it's just obvious. It's a level 1 area. You're going to fight big spiders. That's how MMOs work. That's exactly what's going to happen. But I should see if I can get something a little more koala-y. I mean, we do have the Nada spiders, which are pink apes in a white tuxedo jacket with a hook hand, which is just ecstatic. Ray apparently did not do that. Okay. Koala quest lines. So here's what happened with MMORPG Tycoon 2 that I recorded today. I did figure out how to change some parts of the quests from the quest givers, but not all of them. I think there's like 50% of that is not developed at this point. It's just not in the game. Because clearly there's a thing you should be able to do, but it doesn't do anything, which, it's early access. It's not fleshed out. It's not completely 100% developed. I expect that. But I did figure out how to change some aspects of the quests, which is becoming increasingly more important because the problem I'm running into is everyone is in one area and they won't leave it, and then they complain that it's too congested. Let's see if he forgets about last week. Ray. How long have you been watching the Wee Hours? Admittedly, maybe not since day one, but you know me at this point, Ray. You know me at this point. I don't remember what I said 10 minutes ago. So you're saying, can I remember something that happened last week? The answer is no. No, I cannot. No, I can't. Whatever it is, I probably did it. Ninja koalas in the Singing Stones. I'm not really sure how that area is going to develop. It's a very tiny area. It totally makes sense for a level 2 area. It just screams level 2 area. And I was fussing about trying to get the level ranges to work. And I think that might be something that's not 100% fleshed out either. It also could be I'm just not clicking the right tab, but there should be a way where you can set a region up for it to be, say, level 1 through 3, rather than just level 1, and then the next area is level 2, and the next area is level 3. But I haven't quite figured out how to master that yet, or indeed, do it at all. Since the last time I was here, it's done a lot with game development. Which game? Koala game? Or RimWorld, or MMORPG Tycoon 2, which is basically all I'm talking about right now because I'm wicked into that game. Wicked into that. I am really having a good time. I think this actually, I'm not sold yet. I might have to test drive it later, but this might make it onto the list of games that I play by myself in the evening, like RimWorld, XCOM, games like that. MMORPG Tycoon 2 might get on there. I really do want to start a parallel game. Just to mess around with the mechanics. It's because it's early access, it's very developed in some areas and completely underdeveloped in other areas. There's definitely some work that needs to be done with the financial side. Because although I can get a broad financial picture, it's trickier to get a sort of micro view of it to find out exactly what you're spending on what and figure out where you can cut overhead. How's the cloth doing these days? Okay, we've got 18% of cloth. That's cool. Do you remember Fallout 4? Of course I remember Fallout 4. I'm pretty sure I put more hours into Fallout 4 than any other game, with the exception probably of World of Warcraft, because I don't have an accurate count on how many hours I put into that, but I have no doubt it was more than Fallout 4. Ninja koalas are the Kung Fu Panda's natural predator. Speaking of World of Warcraft, yes, Kung Fu Pandas, the natural predator. How can you confuse Dave with words? Should I? Yeah, don't throw words at me. Dave's cupcake blood level's getting low. Yeah, they totally are. They totally are. So, it's funny you say that, Vosseros. It's funny you say that. Skyrim put more than a few hours into that. Not as much as Fallout 4. I love Skyrim, and I love Fallout 4. There's nothing to not like about those games. I'm not sure whom would say, these games are terrible. I mean, you could certainly make the argument, well, I don't like Fallout 4 as much as I like Fallout New Vegas. That's fine. That's totally fine. That's just you like one game, you don't like the other. That's totally cool. But I think for someone to sit and say Fallout 4 is a bad game, I just don't think that's accurate. I think it's a very expansive, enjoyable game. It's just maybe you don't like it as much as you liked others in the franchise. But anyway, let's go back to talking about cupcakes. So here's my Friday, Voss Ross. Here's my Friday. I get up. And I work on the channel. I either record. I do tend to bulk record on Fridays, and I do some editing and some uploading and stuff. But mostly my Friday morning up until now is channel focused. It's one day out of the week where I can really just knuckle down and get a lot of channel work done. And I have, usually a yogurt or something in the morning, just a sort of breakfast or a smoothie or something. And then by the time we actually get to the stream, I'm starving. I'm absolutely starving at this point, because I'm going to tell you, as healthy as a yogurt might be, it doesn't really fill you up. It just doesn't. Even the smoothies that I make are oh, Ashley, oh, that is lovely. Thank you so much. Oh, that is just delightful. Thank you so much for that, Ashley. Oh, that's awesome. Now, oh, there's my dinner right there. I can at least get some cupcakes with that. Thank you so much, Ashley. That is just delightful. Sorry, I tend to go a little overboard when people do that. That is just awesome. You are awesome. Thank you so much. Smoothies are good. You're not wrong, Spike Little Girl. And I make a darn good one. My general practice, again, thank you, Ashley. That is absolutely awesome. And to reward you, I will now tell you what I put in my smoothies. That's how this works. That is your reward. I'm going to tell you exactly what goes into my smoothies. So here's my breakfast, basically. I do like a cup and a half of skim milk, and then some raw spinach, obviously raw spinach. I wouldn't take time to cook it, and some carrots, and some protein powder, and some grapes. And then I throw frozen berries on top of that for flavor, and then to chill it down. That's usually my breakfast. Ashley, there's your reward. You now, if you wish, you can take that information and go make a Dave smoothie. Ashley, you don't even worry. That is so awesome of you. You don't even worry. And now you know the Dave smoothie recipe. It doesn't alter, because I don't. If something's working, I don't change it up. It's just working. Are you cheating on Mrs. Dave with outsourced cupcakes? How could you? No, I totally am not. Look, let's all be very clear. In case anyone is new to the channel, Mrs. Dave makes, without question, the best cupcakes I've ever had in my life. And I'm not saying that because she's Mrs. Dave. I'm saying that because I had her cupcakes before she was Mrs. Dave. Like, these are amazing. She absolutely, if she wanted to do this professionally, she totally could. But we occasionally we do have to get cupcakes that aren't hers, just due to convenience, basically. I will tell you, speaking of cupcakes, let's talk briefly about cupcakes, and that leads me to donuts. It's a natural segue. So I was at work, and my work, without going into details, because I know Bird Brains is stalking me, and now that I finally changed professions, I'm trying to distance the amount of information that Bird Brains has. But my job does involve a lot of driving. So I drive not only all over my state, but all over the surrounding states. So I do travel quite a bit for work during the course of my day. It's not like I'm away overnight or anything. Jedi Time Lord! Oh my goodness! Silvertrap Studios is making their first game, and it's tiring because I am Big Boss. My emails are so full. Well, what are you making? Please talk about it. Jedi Time Lord, this is so awesome of you. You guys, thank you. Thank you. Send me a cupcake through the internet. I think actually Vossros can do that. Vossros, could you shoot over Ashley some digital cupcakes, please? Only got donuts. Okay, that's fine. So back to talking about donuts. And this is Jedi Time Lord's reward, is the donut question. So I drive, again, I'm not overnight. It's not like a business trip, but I drive around my state and the surrounding states for my job. And I was down in a bordering state, and I had a few minutes of time to kill. I wanted to put some gas in the car. And so I, pulled into a gas station. That's kind of how these things work. And there was attached to the gas station, not like even a separate building, but just part of the gas station, was this coffee shop that I'd never encountered before. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll go get a coffee while I'm here. And they had donuts, because that kind of goes together, donuts and coffee. It's a totally New England thing. We don't roll any other way. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm here. I'm going to get a donut. I'm going to tell you right now, it's the best damn donut I've ever had in my life. I was I was mesmerized by this donut in a gas station, no less. In a gas station. Making a game called Frank. What's it about? I mean, please, go into detail. Drop a link if you want to drop a link. I mean, we're always interested in new games. So if you've got like a website or something, you are very welcome to drop a link in and we can check it out. I will happily approve that. Mad at my dog, he ate half my food while I was in the other room. Oh dear, yes, we sometimes have that issue with our cat. My cat is more like a dog in terms of eating habits. So is Frank about someone named Steve? Is Steve here? Oh, that would be even better. I guess the first time you fall in love with the cupcake and then the cupcake maker. Yeah, exactly, Betty. Exactly. Mrs. Dave makes amazing cupcakes, but sometimes, like the donuts that I found, we do have to outsource our pastries. But cupcakes have negotiable affections. How could you seduce our Dave? I've never encountered this donut shop before, coffee shop, whatever it is, and it's 2.5 hours away. It's a 5-hour round trip because they are not in our area. I checked. I would actually have to go to this state. And the place that I found was right over the border. So this is literally the closest location is a 5-hour round trip for donuts. 5 hours. Okay, I know some of my viewers are in the British Isles. I'm pretty sure in 5 hours you can go one end of the country to the other. 5 hours for me is one state and back. I expressed to Mrs. Dave my delight for these donuts. My delight. And Mrs. Dave is someone who likes donuts. Like hardcore. Like a lot. And I said, they're 2.5 hours away. And she basically said, great, when do we leave? When do we do a 5-hour round trip to get donuts? And we kind of planned on it. We're going to make that happen. Your dog has better stealth skills than my cat. She will ninja food while it's right next to me. Same here, Ray, actually. Same here. My cat, Mrs. Dave is always trying to get a picture of it so we can post it in the pictures of kitty section in the Wee Hours Discord. Shameless self-promotion link down below, because that's basically why I created the Discord, is so I can post pictures of my cat. But my cat does this thing, like, we more often than not will have, because often Mrs. Dave and I are not home at the same time. So dinner is not that big a deal for us. We just sort of grab something and sit on the couch and eat off of the coffee table. My cat's thing is he will get up behind you and poke his head through like your arm. So you've got kind of your arm in front of you with a knife and fork. He'll poke his head through your arm and just sort of look at your food. Mrs. Dave is constantly trying to get a photo of this, but my cat is even more camera shy than I am. My cat, the second he sees the camera come out, bolts. He won't stay cute. There's no YouTube channel that's going to happen with my cat because he just hates cameras. So, but yeah, my cat is not stealthy. My cat just walks right up, gets under your arm, and says, I will have whatever it is you're having, please. Game has 2 maps, city-based of Japan and Frank's World. Game's about a homeless man named Frank. He's an ex-soldier who suffers from PTSD. What is the, Jedi Time Lord, what is sort of the, if you had to throw it into a genre, which I'm not necessarily saying all games have to be in a genre, but if you were going to throw it into, it would mostly be in this kind of genre, where would you put it? Like RPG, action, simulator, like, just so I can get kind of a broad stance of what it is. My dog has be better trained. You're training bees? When it comes to eating some of my food, I've been trained to keep some aside and take it to her. Sounds very similar to my story, despite the camera shy. Yeah, no, he just gets right under your arm. His favorites are, well, he's had many favorites. Tuna is always a winner. He's extremely fond of sour cream and blue cheese dressing. The blue cheese is new. He just discovered that he loves blue cheese dressing, and he's all about that right now. But God help you if you have chicken. God help you. He will not let you rest. He will basically bowl you over to get to chicken. It actually got to the point where we had to reward negative behavior and just give him some of the chicken so he would get out of your way so you could finish your own darn meal. My bigger dog hates cameras too, but my smaller dogs are total hams. My cat doesn't care either way. My cat cares a lot. My cat cares a heck of a lot about being in front of a camera. Every time he's doing something incredibly cute, I bowl people over to get tea. Penge, welcome. Welcome. We were chatting about you earlier in chat, because that's where chat happens. Welcome, Penge. I say horror mainly because of the PTSD episodes, as in hallucinating. Okay, all right, I sort of feel where you're going with this. And I'm very curious. Like, please feel free to give more detail. I'm kind of checking in on this. Okay, so is it sort of like a walking around encountering kind of horror thing? Like, I need more details. I'm very curious as to what you got going on. Hang on, chat is going by extremely quickly here. Speckled Girl, my brother's dog will actually complain if you don't feed him. He growls and grumbles until you do. Sounds like my cat. My cat will just scream at you. Favorite game is Kingdom Hearts 3. Never played that. I think I played the first Kingdom Hearts, but don't quote me on that. Absolutely don't quote me on that. As a game dev, what do you think of this? A factory builder where you play as AI core in a post-apocalyptic flooded Earth, polluted with plastic, and you go around cleaning up Earth. Oh yeah, you've thrown that idea around before. It's different, but I think it's similar enough that people would accept what it is. Tea is the best thing in the world, according to Pench. Some of us, me, might disagree and say coffee is the best. But therein lies the eternal conundrum, really, isn't it? Is it tea or is it coffee? And you know what? Here's the great thing. We're both right. I'm right. But we're both right. I know coffee's better, and I accept people who think otherwise. That's what 2020 is all about. You can have a totally different lifestyle choice where you think that tea is better than coffee, and I'm okay with that. Have to be careful with chicken and grains. I have a cat allergic to both. Oh, that is fussy. Because cats love chicken. Cats totally love chicken. Ray will have tea and coffee, kind of splitting the difference there. I see what you're doing, playing both sides of the fence. No, it's not an moment. I happen to know that I'm right about coffee, and it's okay that you like tea. It's totally okay. I'll let you prefer coffee. Coffee lovers would tea wrong. Coffee's a lie. There's only tea. No, there's coffee. I was going to make some before I started streaming. I'm kind of regretting that I didn't, actually. And Mrs. Dave has already gone to work, so that boat has sailed in terms of asking somebody else to do it for me. And I'm certainly not going to take like 10 minutes out of stream to go get coffee. This is where DoorDash or Uber Eats or something. Can you imagine? I don't know if I called up Uber Eats or DoorDash and said, can you just grab me a coffee? I think they'd be fussy about that because those guys make no money anyway. Birdbrain, depends on how you go about it. In short, it could be good, but it's just the same as going on Fetch Quest. You need to add a lot of other things. I have coffee in the morning and tea at night. Okay, fair. I haven't had tea in, I'm going to say, close to 25 years. Once I got into coffee, tea just didn't do it anymore. I actually just didn't enjoy the taste of it. Once I started drinking coffee, it's like my brain just changed on that. Penge, why do you not have MMORPG Tycoon 2? Yeah, no, seriously, Penge, about 25 years. I do have a need for World of Pengecraft. You're not wrong. You're totally not wrong. I need that to happen. The more I play this game, the more I need Penge to play this game. It's that kind of game. There has to be a World of Pengecraft or, I don't know, Cupboard Craft or something, Tea Craft. It's got to happen. I go through seasons, sometimes months of one, then switch. Yeah, I can't switch. I've tried tea. Since I moved over to coffee, I've tried tea, and I just don't have a good reaction to it. It's just like, no, I don't like this anymore. I don't like the taste of it. Nothing. Like hot coffee and iced tea. Now see, I don't mind iced tea, Willow. I don't mind iced tea, provided it's basically I like the artificial iced tea rather than real iced tea. I know that's somewhat heresy, but I like the stuff you just sort of mix in a glass of water. But I'm not so much on hot tea anymore. There will be derelict. Okay, Birdbrains is talking about Birdbrains game. Cupboard Night, yeah, Cupboard Night could work absolutely, and borrow his TARDIS. Yes, right. Sorry, I should probably play RimWorld. Sorry. Oh, we found enough steel to make components. Oh, okay. You know what? I said we have no steel. We don't have no steel. We've got 1,700 steel. But that's finite. That's all the steel that we have. But it does mean I could finish off the Great Wall in steel, which will move very quickly. We'll be able to bang that right out. Okay, let me actually... Hey, here's a thought. Let me actually briefly play RimWorld, just for a sec. Just to see what happens. Give me a steel... Oh, I can't go through the mud, bugger. I don't know. Go up here, go over here, and then up here, and over here. Just going to kind of have to work around the mud path. I know there's that weird kind of thing that we can research to, get rid of mud. I've never had much success with that when I've used it. It doesn't really seem to, air quotes, work. So, if someone wants to chip in on that, that would be welcome. Or we can just talk about cupcakes. That's fine, too. That's totally fine. PTSD part is first person. You're in a war. First few times it's normal, then it goes weird. That's all I can say. Okay, I'm almost getting like a Disco Elysium vibe off of this, which is not a bad thing. That game is insanity. And I mean that literally. It is actually insanity in the form of a game. I've had an argument with myself, and then I punched a lady of negotiable affections for no readily explainable reason. I just felt like it. And then I tried to kick down her door, and then I was concerned why she wasn't returning the affection. That was like my first 5 minutes in Disco Elysium. It's just insanity in the form of a game with really good graphics. 90% off caffeine for years, and the other 10% is when you're extra awesome, Ray. So either drink is a sad memory of what was. Actually, I don't mind decaf. I don't do decaf in the morning. I have regular coffee in the morning, and then I do actually switch to decaf in the afternoon because I am of an age. And I am of an age where, I can't honestly have caffeine at night because it legit keeps me up. We'll do a steel spike trap here because I have more steel than I thought, just not an unlimited amount. Let me just do that, and then we'll throw some doors in here so we can get in and out. And actually, while you're at it, throw a door in there. It'd be nice to have an exit there. It requires patience to drain an area. Oh, that's where I went wrong. Oh, that's completely where I went wrong, Lars. I don't have that kind of patience. Although, I did feel I let that run for, at least like a game year, and it never really dried out the area. Maybe I was using it wrong. I might have not used it properly. The real world is a problem. You need to take care of yourself. If you spend too much time in the PTSD world, both join together, and it gets really weird. Oh, now I'm getting a vibe of, what was that thing that came out? Sort of Viking woman thing. She's freaking out. Senua, something along those, like Senua the Hunter or something like that. Also can't have caffeine till late. No, I can't. I will drink decaf, though. It is mostly about the taste of the coffee. I have a suspicion I could probably wean myself off coffee were I inclined so to do, which P.S. I'm not. But I probably could because it is really more about the taste of coffee, and I've had decaf coffee in the morning when there was no other options, and there is a certain placebo effect of my brain says you're drinking coffee, so you must be more awake, even if there's no caffeine in it. So you've made a game akin to role-playing a Malkavian in Bloodlines. What was that? A Senua's Sacrifice. Thank you. The second that was coming out of my mouth, Willow chipped in. Yes, Senua's Sacrifice. I'm kind of getting that kind of vibe off of it, where you're not really sure what's real and what isn't, and you may be going a little bit off the rails, as it were. Hellblade, yes. I watched a lot of gameplay on that. There was so much hype that came out about that. I watched gameplay of it, and everyone was so excited for it. And I watched not a small amount of gameplay, actually, because I was like, hey, maybe I should play this, and maybe it might need to end up on the channel. And as stunningly gorgeous as it was, it just kind of left me cold. It just kind of left me meh. Last night I ended up on a Will Smith marathon. I'm questioning how you and wife played out the scene in Wild Wild West. Yes, Ray. And, okay, for anyone who was not here last week, or was it the week before? I don't remember, but it was my dressing up as Princess Jasmine and test driving, well, I guess you'd call it the top half of the costume, test driving that and figuring out what was going to work best, which played out exactly like the scene in Wild Wild West. Yeah, look, at the end of the day, Ray, here's the thing. And I don't think anyone, including the Brits, are going to disagree with this. But, my father was British. I am, in essence, half British, if you want to say that. And I've spent time living in England. The British are, in fact, and this has been, thanks to modern science, there's actually studies to back this up. There's real hard science. Now that we kind of unlocked the DNA code and we can look into people's genes and see what does what, this one's likely to make you a smoker, and this one's likely to make you overweight, and this one makes you a good athlete. There is actually it's a newer study. The British, specifically people of the British Isles, in that area of that genetic stock, are in fact, the males of that stock are predisposed genetically to dressing up as women. It's a newer study, and it explains so much. It explains all of the Monty Python, for a start. It explains Shakespeare. It explains everything. But yeah, deep within the British man's genetics is a gene that says, I'm going to dress up as a woman for comedy. Very, very unknown until now, thanks to modern science, as I say. But so when you say to me, you dressed up as Princess Jasmine and this is shocking to you, I'm just obeying my genetic code, Ray. That's all I'm doing. I'm just obeying my genetic code in the same way that I can't help what color my hair is or what color my eyes are. I'm half British, therefore I'm genetically predisposed to dressing up as a woman. It just look at Britain. You can see that's true. Hang on, Chet. I have to approve that one. There you go. Wait, who said something about Dave Navarro? I just saw that coming in there. Where's Dave? Dave Navarro is out of bed, but was his will broken enough? Not yet. Actually, let me check in on the prisoners. Dave, how you doing here? Jane's Addiction, man. Just go back and reform Jane's Addiction. I've only had the pleasure of seeing them live once. I would really like to make that twice. Wait, once or twice? No, because I was at the very first Lollapalooza. I must have seen them twice. Okay, I've seen Jane's Addiction twice. I need to see them a third time. There's no such thing as too much Jane's Addiction. How's your prisoner thing? Oh, 3.5. Dave Navarro is almost on our side. Almost on our side. Link the study in Discord. You know what, Ray? That's what Google's for. You can look that up. But, oh god, there's a Manhunter pack. Okay, hang on. I actually have to play RimWorld for a sec. Oh god, it's killer rabbits. It's death rabbits. Actually, quite a few of them. Are they? They're probably just going to go right through the traps. I don't even think this is a big deal. But team, everybody on duty, everybody outside for the killer rabbits. I don't honestly think they're going to get very far because I think they're going to try and get through the trap corridors. But just in case, we'll get the war packers ready. Yeah, you can Google that one, Ray. It's it's obvious. Yep, dead, and dead. Okay, Manhunter pack totally dealt with. Everybody stand down, folks. Yeah, go get the rabbits. That's fine. Go get the dead rabbits. There's dinner that we didn't need. It's not shocking to me that this is 2020. Yeah, British men genetically predisposed to dressing up as women. I mean, look at the history of Britain. I mean, Queen Elizabeth I was a man. Everybody knows that. That was no secret to me. I think I figured that out long before the study came out. But yeah, Ray's got a rabbit. Penge has got a rabbit. Everyone's got well, I was going to say a pet rabbit, but a dead pet rabbit, if I'm honest. It's not shocking about the dressing up, but the dialogue in that scene. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, you know what? Mrs. Dave is a good person to go to in terms of how should these feel. I mean, I feel I am too, but we're not going to make this an adult channel. I'm like, what would you want these to feel like if you were you? Wasn't expecting to support a Spanish Inquisition. Well, nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. And if you say any more, we're going to put you in the comfy chair and poke you with soft cushions. There are 5 endings. Each time you replay, it gets worse. Oh, dear Lord. It's like a roguelike, but even worse than that. Destined for failure, and it's going to get worse. Super. I'll look forward to that one, Jedi Time Lord. Oh, goody. Because we all know my success rate with those kinds of games. Stabby, what are you up to? You're consuming a simple meal. Delightful. Did I check the other prisoners? Kraus, how are you? Oh, you're broken. Kraus is going to be on our side momentarily. Bambaloo is going to take a little bit longer, but not very long. But yeah, Kraus will be on our side by breakfast. On the phone, and Roomba is muffing you. I'll rewatch this later, and Google, I was going to quote it, but I felt I'd get banned. I will see you later, Ray. Thank you so much for coming by. That is awesome, and yeah, good luck with the animals and the food issue. So yeah, I don't want to try and drown out the Roomba. I didn't realize Roombas were that noisy. Are they noisy things? Okay, here's an interesting bit of trivia. Not in my current career, but in my past career, I was at the house of the founders of iRobot, the people who own iRobot. It's a couple, a married couple. I was at their house looking to do some work there. or proposing to do some work. I never met them personally. I met their caretaker, the guy who's in charge, because they're multi-zillionaires, so they don't meet with contractors. They have people for that. But anyway, so I was at their house. Here's an interesting thing about the owners of iRoomba. They are ridiculous Star Wars fans, huge Star Wars fans. No surprise they started a robot company. But anyway, they have a room in their mansion that is specifically made out for lightsaber duels, so they can duel each other. So it's like the rubber padding on the floor like you find in a gym, and it's this huge open area. There's Star Wars memorabilia all over the place, and they have a lightsaber room. So that's if you're interested in the owners of iRobot, that's what they do with their time. They have lightsaber duels in between making gobs of money. What's in the meteor? Oh, sandstone. That's really not very exciting, is it? No, that's not exciting at all. Jedi Time Lord! Oh, Steve! That is so awesome of you. I don't know where all this love is coming from, but I'm going to sit here and take it. Thank you again, Jedi Time Lord. Thank you. Dave is ready to play it in early access and promote your game if gifted to him. Shameless Dave promotion. Well, Vosros, you're a very generous friend of the channel. I was kind of thinking, I was actually going through my Steam library today, hence the comment in the Discord of, like, when did I even acquire this game? Because sometimes I don't know. I looked at a game in my Steam library. I have no memory of acquiring this. It just came out of, like, why do I own this? Where did it come from? How much is that house? An absurd amount of money, Bird Brains. Like, stupid, crazy, ridiculous amount of money. But I was thinking, if I just focused on the games that are gifted to me by extremely generous and awesome people, I don't even know if I'd had time to play all of those. I'm trying to pick through. I'm kind of looking for what I'm going to do next week, because it's one or two things will come to a close. I'm just looking for some new stuff, and I was just tooling around with ideas. I have a lot of games. So yeah, it's going to take me a while to get through all of them, but I do have a couple of good ideas for next week. I think it'll be fun. One of them, Vosros, may have been gifted to me by a viewer who is very, very awesome. One of them may be those, and one of them we may have briefly seen on Penge's channel, and I took a look at it and said, oh dear God, I've got to play that nonsense. That looks ridiculous. I have to play that. I found Lego Star Wars TCS in my Steam library. I forgot about it. What do you think of Lego games? That's actually a great question, because I have some. And I don't have Lego Star Wars. I have Lego a lot of things. Mostly because I would get them in bundles. So like the Steam Summer Sale, you get a huge bundle from, what is that, Warner Brothers, I think, puts out that series. And there's usually a lot of other good games in the bundle. So I've ended up with some Lego games, and I've messed around with them. They're fun. I find they're very finite. So I find they're extremely linear, and that's my only complaint about it. I love the look of them. I love the idea of them. The gameplay is fun, but I do find them to be extremely linear. And then it's like, okay, go to this area, solve this puzzle, and that's kind of it. Figure out what you've got to do to get to the next area. That's my experience with Lego games. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. I don't know. And if there is one, dear Lord, please tell me if there's some sort of like open world Lego game where you can just kind of go whatever and do whatever. What kind of crazy person would give so many games? Somebody who, well, you know what? Really, would that person be crazy, or is that person just really patronizing the arts? Is what they're doing. Is for what it is. Got to go to work in 1 hour. Ashley, thank you so much for coming by. Thank you so much. Have a good time at work if you enjoy your job, and if you don't, have a tolerable time at work, I guess. Anyway, nobody. I don't think anyone is leaping up and down saying, "Oh boy, I can't wait to go to work." I'd much rather do that than listen to this silly person talk about cupcakes. But anyway, thank you so much for coming by, Ashley. I appreciate it. What the heck was I talking about? The Roomba Jedi couple. Wait. Hang on. I got to scroll back up. What did Bobcat just say? Slow down here. What kind of work were you going to do for the Roomba Jedi couple? I will say that my former career was in the contracting industry. Now, I am very well known for giving way too obvious personal information clues over chat and over the internet. I'm way too open about that. My life is an open book. I hide virtually nothing from anyone at all. In fact, I don't really know what I hide from anyone. What you see is what you get. And we've said this before. If you met me on the street, this is my personality. This is not a show or a character that I'm playing. If you bumped into me on the street, we would be having exactly the same conversation. Ask Mrs. Dave. She puts up with this daily. Have I played the Guild 3? Looks like you might enjoy it. I've played, I'm actually shocked that Penge could make it into chat without having to go deal with Guild 3 stuff, because that is, wow, he's on a tear with Guild 3. I've played Guild 2. I actually started looking at the Guild because I was watching Civilian play Guild 2. And if you haven't watched Civilian play Guild 2, it's darn close to one of the best things you've ever seen. I strongly recommend you go hunt down. It's an older playlist. I think it was actually maybe her second playlist that she ever did. But yeah, and I get a mention in it too, which is very nice. We were just kind of getting to know each other at the time. But yeah, go watch Civilians Guild 2. It's amazing. It's absolutely hysterically funny and brutal because it's Civilian. So, there's murders and intrigue, and she in no way plays it nice for any stretch of the game. So I watched Guild 2 and I thought, wow, actually this does really look like something I'd enjoy. And then, just like we were saying with the bundles, one of the Steam sales, they did a bundle on all the Guild stuff. Like, okay, I'll plunk down a few bucks and get literally every Guild game. And I did play some of Guild 2, and I do broadly enjoy it. I don't not enjoy it, but there's like a tap out point for me where I'm like, I'm kind of done playing this. So look, I know Guild 3 would probably be a really, really smart thing to put on the channel because it's obviously insanely popular right now. But two things on that. One, I'm a little late to the party. Way more players, not just Penge, but way more YouTube folk have done Guild 3 competently. There's no reason for me to jump into it. I'm kind of late to that party. Not that I necessarily mind being late to the party. It worked out well for Tavern Tycoon. But I don't feel I'd give it my all. I'd feel I was kind of throwing it on the channel because it's pretty darn popular right now, and I probably should play it. I'm not saying I've never done that with a game. I absolutely have. But if I were going to do Guild 3, I'd want to give it my all, and I don't think I'm going to. I don't think I have enough interest in the Guild game to do that. Jedi Time Lord, you're out here. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you. And please stop by again. We will happily take info on your game. We will happily do that. Oh, hang on. We've recruited, what's his name? Yeah, Kraus is on the team. Kraus is on side. All right, Kraus, this can actually be your bedroom, seeing as I happen to be looking right at it. So this, Kraus, is now your bed. You do whatever you feel for right now. I'm talking about the Guild 3. So whatever you're into, just, go ahead and do it. That's fine. Rebought Guild 3 still has the weird issue with the 1920 1080, returning it very sadly. Dave's playing Sims 3... Dylan. Yeah, so back to Guild 3. Yes, long story short, yes, I would love to put on the game of the moment right now, but I generally seem to stumble into those rather than actively knowing them. I just sort of play what I play, and sometimes it turns out to be a big hit, like Crossroads or Stellar Tactics or Tavern Tycoon. I just sort of catch a wave that I didn't know was there. But with Guild 3... I guess ultimately this is, as usual, an extremely long-winded way of answering your question, which is my heart wouldn't be in it. I don't dislike the Guild games. I don't dislike them at all. I played them and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's okay. It's not, I'm not going to give it my full enthusiasm. I would much rather... Are prisoners recruited automatically? Yes, if you set them on to recruit. So Dave Navarro here, in his prisoner tab, you can either reduce their resistance or recruit them, but there's no real reason to have reduced resistance because recruiting them also reduces their resistance. And then when their resistance is zero, then they can be recruited. I'm not even sure why reduce resistance is even here. That probably should be removed from the game because nobody would ever pick that. It doesn't do anything that recruit doesn't do. So I would never really give Guild 3 my all. I'd rather stumble into something like MMORPG Tycoon 2, which I adore. I love that game. And I can usually tell. I again, it just coming back to how we started the stream, I checked out very brief gameplay. I probably watched about 15 to 20 minutes of somebody playing the tutorial, and I was just like, I have to have this. I have to have this. And I had no intention of buying a game. Mrs. Dave and I are, this year, living a little bit more frugally. We don't have the advantage of my last business, so, we're on regular paychecks like regular folks, so we don't have a lot of discretionary income. And I had said, I'm not going to buy a game this month. I've got plenty of games. I don't need any new games. I can make the channel work with what I've got. And then I saw that. I'm like, I got to break my own rule immediately. It's like, I just have to, I have to have that game. I have to have it. So, and I'm loving it. And more importantly, the views are great on it. And everyone else seems to be really digging it. Gothic is having a playable teaser on Steam. Yeah, I know. That just popped up in my library. Actually, it's a library. It's not on the store page. It just automatically inserted that in my library, which is kind of creepy, if I'm honest. Like, what makes you think I want to play your game? What is that? Curious what will happen with the next game. Gothic games used to be fun. I am painfully aware. You don't build a crematorium. You don't have the resources. No, it's not that I don't have the resources. I prefer my Hall of the Dead right over here. So it's just an aesthetic thing. It's not for gameplay value. It doesn't make any sense. I just like having it. So I have my sarcophagi for the 3 original settlers when they die, and then every other body just gets dumped in my Hall of the Dead here. So no, I totally could build a crematorium. I'm not going to. We're doing this Indiana Jones style. So back to Gothic. Here's my thing with Gothic. Gothic is the same people who made Elix, and we all know my issues with Elix. Ultimately, I enjoyed Elix, but it is just elements of that gameplay. And what I was told many, many, many times in the comments, is that this is the way the developers build their games. If you didn't like Elix, you're not going to like Gothic. It's basically the same thing. So I may check out the teaser because it's free, but I think if it's anything like Elix, and again, I enjoyed Elix, but I can't get through that game. There's too many speed bumps, too many roadblocks in that game in terms of progression and chewing up my time with padding, which I am told is the way the developers do it. They want, this rich dialogue. Well, there's a difference between rich dialogue and repeating the same sentences, just rephrasing them to pad out the game. So I may take a look at it. I'm so far behind in chat. Hang on. I'm so far behind in chat. I may take a look at Gothic, but I probably won't do anything with it unless I'm just, hey, my mind is open to be changed. I am not a hardliner. If it changes my mind, it changes my mind. Reduced resistance is to train the skill. Oh, okay. That makes much more sense. Okay. Thank you, Lars. I didn't actually know that. I think we've learned something new about... I have learned something new about RimWorld every single week. We found that ability to rename the settlers that I didn't actually know you could do. I knew you could rename animals, just didn't know you could rename settlers. Agreeing with Lars, have used that quite a few times just for that to build up the skill. Okay. Got it. Pawn scale up a skill for negotiation. Okay, that does make much more sense. Yeah, I've never done it. I again, only just now, about 10 seconds ago, found out that it builds up the skill for that. Maybe I'd do that, but mostly I just want to get the prisoners on side. So, oh yeah, everything's dying because it's cold out. It's the 15th of September. No problem. Let me catch up on chat here. I had Sims Medieval. Copy was so buggy that it kept crashing. 4 new bodies in the tomb yet. If not, go get to it. Which 4 new bodies? Yeah, they're all in here. All Bristly, Spike Little Girl, Frog, Slickrick. Somebody told me why they're not coming off of the colonist list. They are all in here. I think, that's Muldoon. There's Frog right there. Slickrick is there. I think Bristly is one of these two. I know Bristly is one of these two. There's Bristly. Yeah, they're all in here. And I used to know the reason why they're not coming off the colonist list up here, but I don't remember. Lars may be able to chip in with that. That was really good. I think they're in the tomb, but they won't go away until they're skeletons. I think you're right, Willa. I think you're right. Aside from forgetting to save for several hours and deciding Alt-4 was better than the Sims death. Fair enough. I feel this urge to put a brick near dead Slickrick. I know, me too. I wonder... I'd have to get a colonist to pick up a single brick of stone, walk him over, draft him, walk him over, and then get him to drop it. That seems like more work than I'm prepared. No, Spike Little Girl, you're totally in here somewhere. I know you're in here. We've definitely put all of these bodies in here somewhere. There you are. You're right there. Spike Little Girl, engineer, brackets, dead. So, no worries, Spike Little Girl. You are right there in the Hall of the Dead. You know what the Hall of the Dead needs? Torches. It's just not a Hall of the Dead without some torches. Not enough wood. Oh, we'll fix that. Don't worry about that. Put some torches in there. Make it more Indiana Jones-esque. Boy, that's going to chew up some colonist time having to go back and refuel those, but it's the way I want them. Could bury them and unbury them in a week or two, they'd go away. Yeah, I'll just leave them there. I think, you know what, let's be honest here. Having these 4 X's up here really should be a reminder to me to possibly pay a little bit more attention to colony management. Sardgo, welcome! Or throw them in the sarcophagus too. No, the sarcophagi are specifically for the 3 original colonists. Penge, Mech, and Stabby. That is their sarcophagi. I built them in anticipation of their death, because it's my game, so everyone will die at some point. But that's where they're going to be respectfully interred. Doesn't burn them or bury them, they won't leave from the screen. I think they will eventually, Nikos. I think Willow is right. Once they're skeletonized and then sort of, disappear to dust, I do think they come off of the list. I've seen it before. I'm pretty sure that is accurate. It does need snakes. Maybe a trader. Okay, the best thing in the world would be if one of the exotic traders came by who had snakes that I could buy, and then zone those snakes only for here. Keep some food in there so they don't die, and zone them only in here, and hope they get pregnant a lot so there'll just be hordes of snakes in there. Hordes of snakes. Can I get new colonists until the red X ones are gone? Yeah, I just got Kraus. Kraus is on board. He just joined. And Dave Navarro should be very, very close behind. Yeah, Dave Navarro only has a resistance of 1.3 left. I think we can probably kill that the next time we chat to him, and then he is 100% on side. You have 25 colonists. That's way more than I've ever had. I think my record is 15. I think I've had 15, but 25, I wouldn't even know what to do with that many colonists. Missed that from earlier. Makes sense. Oh, yeah, no worries. How do you... I suppose I'd say, how do you even deal with 25 colonists, but I'm not dealing with these ones. I'm just WASDing and reading chat. Speaking of WASDing and reading chat, I should probably see how things are going around here. The Great Wall is almost done. Almost done. That is not only protection from raids, but an unlimited source of meat with all the various trap corridors. Yes, I am aware that I don't need multiple trap corridors for raid issues, but all that happens all day long is animals wander in, they die, and we get free meat without having to bother going out and hunting them. Oh, I know what I was going to do. We actually haven't looked at Kraus. What's your deal, buddy? No, go back to 1, 1, and 1 for all of those. What are you good at? What are you good at, actually? Come here, Kraus. What's your bio? Oh, you're terrible at literally everything. You're just awful. You're just terrible, terrible, terrible person. But you're incapable of none. So you're a masochist nudist night owl. Do you want to take your clothes off? You can if you want to. Are you sad that you have clothes on? Yeah. Not only are you sad that you have clothes on, but you don't even like the clothes you have on. Fair enough. That's fair. I mean, you can take your clothes off if you want. I'm not... you know what? Take your clothes off. Whatever. This is a pants optional channel anyway. So whatever they want to do. If you have less than a fixed number of colonists, then people will come join you. Read the game starts throwing events that you try to cull your colonists. Yeah, I've read that. I broadly believe that to be true. But I don't have actual proof of that. Yeah, dude, if you're really into not wearing pants, you can totally not wear pants. And don't wear this shirt. Probably keep the jacket on, though. I mean, don't wear the jacket. You know what? Do as you feel. You do probably need a hat, though. I think, if I'm remembering my RimWorld mechanics, nudists can be nudists in the winter, but they need a hat. I don't know why that hat is going to save them from very, very severe frostbite, but really unfortunate frostbite. But let's get some hats going. Where is my tailoring bench? Where did I put that these days? I know I've got one. I clearly have one. I just don't know what I did. There it is. I see it. Let's get a few hats going on just for good measure there. Put him on night duty with Duck. Oh, yeah. There is that whole when you're awake thing, right? Yeah, Kraus. You know, I almost never deal with this. Why don't you work at night? Okay, work at night. There we go. I almost never mess around with this. And then the rest of the time you can just be on free time. You do what you feel. If you want to take a nap, take a nap. But just work at night. You might be mildly happier about things. Excuse me. So, Kraus, what else do we need to know about you? You are terrible. You're absolutely terrible. Well, you know what? You're going on high priority cleaning and hauling. You are just going to be a pack mule, a cleaning pack mule. Because, you know what? That way I can take Duck, who has allegedly other skills. You can come off high priority cleaning. We're putting Kraus on high priority cleaning, and actually, you know what? Do that the other way around. High priority hauling, then cleaning. Because cleaning, you'd just be cleaning forever. There's always something to clean. You'd never get around to hauling. Hauling will be finite. So haul things until you don't have anything to haul, and then the rest of your time, only clean. This place is going to be immaculate. Congratulations, Kraus. You're our new maid. I'm so backed up on chat. I'm sorry. I was actually doing things in RimWorld. I deeply apologize to that. So, what are we talking about? Koalas? Okay, great. Super. Yay for Duck. Oh, Duck. Duck. I'm so sorry Frog died. Duck. Yuck or Duck. You could be Yuck or Duck. I'm pretty cool either way. But Duck and Frog were such a great combo. It sounds like a comedy team. The exciting comedy team of Duck and Frog. And now Frog's dead. It's unfortunate, but there we are. How's the cotton coming? 36% grown. Not bad. Still plenty of food for the animals, and we have constantly growing hay grass. Another interesting bit, speaking of dead bodies, when you bury them, actually increases your colony wealth. That is odd. Why? Is it just because it's a thing in your colony that is fixed? I'm thinking of like the settlement building in Fallout 4 with just putting a thing down. There's like a limit to how many things can be in your colony, just physical objects. I wonder if it works somewhat similar to that. Oh, we finished making a hat. Good. Where did you put it? What did you do with it? Now I have to figure out what you did with it. I should just make a clothing-only area and a weapons-only area and all that, but also I kind of just like looking through the screen to find out where things are. There's a part of me that digs that. Where did you put the hat? Well, you're making another hat. When you finish making the other hat, I'll follow you, and that will tell me where you put the first hat, hopefully. You didn't make both hats, did you? Have you made both hats? You made both hats. Wow, somebody just cranked through those hats. Frog was very Frog, that's true. Changes sleep schedule, and also his negative buff from wearing ratty apparel. Well, he has no apparel at this point. We've dealt with the apparel issue. You don't worry about that. We have dealt with the apparel issue because he has... Wait, he put all his pants back on. All right, I have to do the whole Who's-y McWhat's-it here. Manage outfits, yes. Kraus, you can be a nudist. There you go. I know that's going to make you wicked happy. Right, I had you on anything, and you put on clothes, even though you hate it. And now you... Where are you? What are you doing? Okay, you took your shirt off. I got that. And you're returning that to... Oh, you've already put a hat on. Oh, good for you. I hope you keep the hat on, even when you take off all your clothes. Yeah, you are now stripping. Are you taking... You're not taking the hat off. Great. Good. Okay, I think we've solved the problem with Kraus, but you're right. It's not a terrible idea to give him some sleep hours. You know what? How about just in the middle of the day? You can just nap then, and then whatever else, do what you feel. It's all you, Kraus. Kraus, don't expect very tight management colony things going on here. This is not a very strict workforce. If you add a plaque, the value must go even higher. Could do that. Yeah. I think if a percentage is lower than 52, they get a negative debuff. But for nudists, you can gear them a duster and a hat. Okay, good. I'll get a duster then. I've covered the hat thing. And I'm hoping he's going to take the second hat and cover other parts of him. But, see what I did there. Where do I keep putting my tailoring bench? I'm constantly losing this. I know I'm looking right at it. I'm clearly not looking right at it, otherwise I would have seen it by now. I can never... This is like a blank spot in my brain. There it is. Okay. Somebody remind me, it's right by the research station. Okay, we want a duster. Sure, make one of those. Kraus, when that's ready, because apparently we're just screaming through closing right now, a duster and a hat, so they just become a flasher. Yeah, basically a flasher. Yeah. And he's even got, like, the ski cap thing on, which is very creepy. It's not like it's a fancy hat. He has a flasher hat. A little sort of pulled-down scully cap thing going on there. Yeah, I mean, if he wants to be a nudist, that's totally fine. Benj, we've had many, many discussions about the necessity of pants on this channel. More than is probably strictly necessary, if I'm honest, and probably enough that we're on many watch lists at this point. But we've had many discussions about the necessity of pants, and frankly, if Kraus doesn't want to wear pants, I'm not going to force Kraus to wear pants. If he wants to freeze things off of himself in the middle of winter, which it's going to be tomorrow, then he is welcome to do that. He's 100% welcome to do that. I don't think the duster is really going to help in the grand scheme of things, but he seems very keen on it. So I'm helpfully pointing at the screen. It's right there. Thank you, Willow. Thank you. Do you know how many times I've done that to other YouTubers? Excuse me, cough coming on. Hang on. The number of times I've gone, it's right there. It's right there in front of you. How are you not seeing that? I do that constantly. And then I started doing this, and I realized there's a huge difference between playing a game and trying to talk about the game at the same time. Huge difference. The number of things that I see when I'm editing going, oh, that's where that thing was. Huh. It was right in front of my face the whole time. Like the whole thing with not hiring the croupier in Crossroads Inn. I don't know, whenever that was, a couple of episodes ago. And I'm spending half an episode going, where the heck is my croupier? I just hired a croupier. Why has he not shown up for work? And then I edited it. And I realized I just flat out didn't hire him. I never actually pressed the button to hire him. You see it in editing. You don't see it while you're playing because you're thinking of the next thing to say. That's it. You're just, it's less about, that's why I try to play games that are somewhat more casual, because it's thinking about the next thing to say, really, rather than focusing 100% on the gameplay. That's when you start seeing the brutal edits in my games, is because I just took 15 minutes outside of camera, off recording, to figure out how to do something. Like, I need to figure this out. I just got to stop recording and try and figure out this little thing. Bamalu's resistance has been broken. How are we on Dave Navarro? He should be coming on board right now, basically. We should be recruiting him immediately. Are you still? Okay, you're at 0 resistance. Fair enough. So Dave Navarro and Bamalu are going to be ours momentarily. I do have 2 free bedrooms, so that is good. I've done that many times too, Dave. I know I've screamed at your place. I've screamed at your screen the same way I've screamed at many a True Nerd screen. Like, why don't you see that? Why can you not see the things? I will tell you of a moment specifically, because I just happened to be rewatching some of your XCOM play. The one where I think everyone was screaming is when you were selling things in the gray market in XCOM, and you never saw the thing that says damaged, has no value. You can sell it completely, no problem selling this stuff, and it wasn't happening. You weren't seeing that, and everyone, including myself, was going, sell the damaged things. It says it right there that you can freely sell them. They have no research value. But I do it all the time. People do it to me. People do it to you. People do it to Many a True Nerd. Many a True Nerd is famous for it. It's his thing, is not noticing things. I think half of his viewers are just there to watch him not find something. I'm so far behind in chat. So far behind. Dungeons & Dragons discussion I was in a while back, people were talking about how Sacred Flame has a misleading name and could potentially be called Sacred Flash. I like the idea of clerics wearing trench coats saying "for Pelor" and causing 1d8 radiant damage. I think radiant damage is a little optimistic, isn't it? I'll be the judge of that, whether it's radiant or not. I've never done... No, Ray, you've never done that to me at all. Never ever said, it's right there. Right there. The damage stuff, I think there were a few comments. There were several comments about that. Perception 1, yeah, we all... I don't know if Many a True Nerd started that particular joke, oh, I have a perception of 1 or a perception of 0, but I know he's the one I associate with it. When you say, oh, perception 0 there, I just sort of associate that with him because he does so much Fallout stuff. You think Many a True Nerd does it on purpose? Wow. Interesting idea. I mean, I don't necessarily want to break down and analyze Many a True Nerd because, I have no particular reason to promote his channel. He does just fine by himself. I'm happy to promote other channels, but, he's fine. He doesn't need any help from tiny little old me. But is it? Oh, he's been doing this a long time, and his game is tight. I don't completely hate that idea, Willow. That he's kind of evolved his character to, this is what I do. Because if you go deep in his catalog, way deep in his catalog, like the very first Fallout playlists, like the Kill Everything run, that was way back when, you can see his character starting to develop. And I don't mean character like he's putting on an act. I don't believe that. I think we can tell. And I don't mean we, like people who watch Miniature. I think people who watch YouTube can sort out who's putting on an act and who isn't. I think we're very difficult to BS. So I don't think he's putting on an act. I don't think that at all. I think this is genuinely him for the most part. But is he deliberately doing things in a video to like spark a comment or be funny? I don't know. Maybe. I would not throw out that idea. We've all hit those points where we both see them in other videos and do it ourselves, even if we don't record. Yeah, probably. I've certainly played some games and then later on go, oh, there's that thing. Why didn't I see that before? But I would definitely say that when you're trying to think of the next thing to say, and also, for whatever it's worth, try to make it reasonably entertaining. Because this may come as a shock to people. Now, for newer viewers, this may come as a complete surprise, but I'm not a tutorial channel. I don't give you carefully examined gameplay on how to play the game that I'm playing. Jess, welcome! Welcome, Jess. It is not that kind of channel. My goal, above all, is to, at best I can, try to entertain you. I go through never mind the channel, I go through my entire day going, if I can get a chuckle out of someone, I feel I've done good work. Oh, Penge has inspired surgery. Penge, time to do some doctoring. What's your doctoring in general? Not very good. I don't care how inspired you are. You're not getting anywhere near a scalpel. So I try to entertain as best I can. It's not a tutorial channel. I know many, many people are shocked by that. I know many people come here for extremely competent, in-depth gameplay and analysis. Turn around and leave. It ain't that kind of show. So not only am I trying to think of the next thing to say, I'm also trying to think of what could I say that might be vaguely entertaining about this particular thing that I'm doing in the game. And when you're doing all of that, trying to remember where the tab is that gets you to the thing so you can change the thing on the guy, it really takes second place. Really takes second place there. Dave does how-tos on how to be a YouTuber. No, I don't. No, don't take any advice from me. Go look at Paulsley or Penge. Geek Cupboard's kind of done everything right, and so is Paulsley, although they're two very different channels. They've both been successful within what they do. So go look at Many a True Nerd. Go look at any of those guys. Do not look at my channel for how to do this, because I have literally done everything wrong. From day one, I have done 100% of everything wrong. But you know what? I'm sticking to my story, because ultimately, this is who I am. This is exactly who I am. I've said this already in chat. If you met me on the street, this is what you're getting. This is not an act. It's not a show. This is my genuine personality. This is genuinely the way I play games. I absolutely just bumble around until something happens. I play this way myself. I play this way for the channel. So my channel, for what it is, don't ever try and think that that's the way to do it, because it ain't. But I love it, and it's mine, and I wouldn't change a thing, and we should have... Dave Navarro is on board. Dave Navarro is finally a member. Oh, slow down there. Slow down there. The very first thing I have to do is make sure your name is correct, sir. Bio. There we go. Navarro, comma, Dave. There we go. Dave Navarro, finally on board. So we can really work on this whole Jane's Addiction reunion that I've got planned for you. Now, if Perry Farrell would show up, that would just be fantastic. Fantastic. It's your wrong and we love it. That's exactly it. It's my wrong. Don't ever look to my channel for what to do with a YouTube channel. You know what? Honestly, just in terms of recently, Go look at Paulsley. Paulsley did every single thing right, and he is the success to prove for it. From day one, he niched down, he got really good at what he did, and when his time was ready, he was ready for that boat. When his boat sailed, he was at the dock with his bags and his ticket. He had already pre-checked in, his luggage was taken care of, the attendants were greeting him, said, "Welcome, Mr. Paulsley, here is your boat, please get on and enjoy this first-class cabin." He was 100% ready to achieve the success that he did, because he did everything right. I have always done everything wrong. I bumble along and I try things, and at the end of the day, it's what I say in the videos, it's what I want to play and what you want to watch, and hopefully between those two places we find a happy place. Andreas is back. Welcome. Last three letters were key. On what? Wait, I'm so far behind. OMG! Oh, I got it. It doesn't. How-to's on how to be a YouTuber. OMG! Apparently. And I will keep doing that, too. I will keep doing apparently. Even though it's actually starting to annoy people who love the series, I'm going to keep doing it anyway because it makes me happy. It makes me happy to say YouTuber's life, OMG! Apparently. It really brings a smile to my face. I might, the last video of that series might just be a solid half hour of me going, YouTuber's life, OMG! Apparently. I can't rule that out. I can't rule that out at all. You've gotten people to follow you for years. Oh, hang on. I'm way behind in chat here. That's an accomplishment. I hope I entertain people, Anonapig. I hope I do. That's really my only goal. There was a post in Reddit. I still kind of check in on Reddit, every now and then. And somebody did a post for gaming channels, which essentially, it wasn't rude, but it was essentially like, why are you guys even bothering? It's an oversaturated market. There's no chance in the gaming channel world. Why are you bothering? In a polite way. They weren't being rude. They were just genuinely asking the question, like, why are you bothering? And I actually checked in on this. I wrote a reply to this, because what struck me immediately is two things. I love playing games, and I love trying to entertain people. So this is kind of where I do that. This is kind of a perfect fit for that. Is it going to be the world's biggest channel? No, it's absolutely not. Absolutely not is that ever going to happen. Growth will happen. Growth will happen. Just, things will come along. There'll be that next... Oh, God, we've got a boomaloop. It's self-tamed. Oh, and there's a dead animal here we could be taking advantage of. Great. Well... Oh, and another dead animal. That one's rotted. Let's not eat that one. Great, we've got a self-tamed boomalope. That's mildly explodey. So yeah, is it ever going to be the biggest thing ever? No, but I love what I do. It's not that it's not hard work and it's not stressful. It totally is. But, anything that you put your all into, anything that you put 100% of yourself into is going to be stressful. There's no way of getting around that. Hang on, I'm still getting caught up on chat. Chat is going very frantically, and thank you guys so much. I've been here for a while, but I recall Dave Stellar Tactics the first thing I saw. Yeah, Stellar Tactics definitely built the channel. My first Geek Cupboard, I believe, was one of the early Fallout 4 explosives only, but I might be wrong about that. But it was definitely back then. I met Penge through the YouTube Wolfpack that we were both members of, and we are still members of to the best of my knowledge. And we were all kind of, back then it was a little more focused on networking, which is why I joined. I'm like, okay, I can meet some other small YouTube channels and kind of network and, I don't know, just kind of all coax our way through this nonsense. And Penge had commented on one of my videos with a really insightful comment. I'm like, I'm going to go check out who this Geek Cupboard guy is. And I was instantly a fan. I'm not saying that because Penge is here. I'm not saying that because we're friends. I'm not saying that for any reason other than I am a fan, first and foremost, of the Geek Cupboard. I always have been. Since the first few videos I watched, I'm like, I got to watch more of this guy. And also, P.S., this guy is going places. So I was a fan from day one. I loved the style. I loved the voice. I loved the entertainment. I loved the faffing about. I loved the sort of just wandering around, being easily distracted by shiny things. It was all good stuff, and I have never been disappointed since then. So I'm not entirely sure what the point of that story was, but there's the story nonetheless. Found Penge through Dave. Oh, good. I'm always glad when there's back and forth. We are very different styles, I think. And I think as both of our channels have evolved, they've become even more different styles between Penge and myself. I don't think you're getting the same thing if you go from one channel to the other. Although we do play many of the same games because we enjoy many of the same games. We have very similar tastes in games. If you went through my Steam list and Penge's Steam list, you'd match up on a whole lot of things there. We have very similar tastes in games. But I think you get a different experience. But I think people who like one will often like the other. So I like it when people are going back and forth because I hope they're getting kind of double their bang for their buck there. Very different styles ultimately, but I think a lot of shared enjoyment. Found Penge through Parkitect. Willow coaxing me through Parkitect there. I refuse to watch because of apparently and the OMG and the game. Not my cup of tea. Well, then no worries, Ray, because we've hit kind of a game-breaking glitch. YouTubers like OMG. Apparently, will meet its end there. And Jess Medicine, YouTube Wolfpack. Actually, I'm surprised CB isn't here. He can often make it into chat. There's several people who turn up in chat who were Wolfpack members, are, whatever it may be. It's changed. The group has changed. For better or worse is not up to me. I met a bunch of people there, and that was hugely supportive in the early days of the channel, just to get anyone at all to watch it. Even if they didn't watch the whole thing, it was just nice. Notice Navarro's traits. Oh, hang on. What are Dave Navarro's traits? Leaving a successful band? Starting a game show? All right, Dave Navarro. Where is Dave Navarro? He's all the way up here, because we've had him for a while. Chemical interest, psychically hypersensitive, and a brawler. So basically Dave Navarro. I'm okay with this. He's actually broadly good in a lot of things. I really should mess with his skills, but I'm having more fun talking. So, no, you're not wrong, Nikos. Those are terrible traits if it wasn't Dave Navarro. But the fact that it is Dave Navarro means those traits make so much sense. So much sense. What's the Fallout 4 VR video? I don't know whose question you're answering. But yeah, that did huge. That did huge, and through no fault of my own, Penge, and I've said this to you. People have said, "Oh, why don't you do another Fallout 4 VR video? It did so well for you." That was through no fault of my own. It was Fallout 4 VR. I could have slapped the title Fallout 4 VR on a 30-minute video of a baked potato, and it would have gotten 6,000 views. That was one of the. First of all, Of course I wanted to play Fallout 4 VR, and Fallout 4 VR is wonderful, although they do need to simplify the controls. It's very difficult to do on VR controllers. It is wonderful because it's Fallout 4, and you're walking around the Commonwealth. It's just an amazing experience. To be life-size walking around the Commonwealth is unbelievable. But the thing with that video is, we've got yet another new recruit. Hi, find your own bed, please. I'm talking about Fallout 4. I'm also using the wrong mouse to do that. There we go. Wait, Mac's not new. Mac's not new to... Oh, Bamaloo. Bamaloo's on board. Okay, great. Find your own beds, people. We'll probably have to deal with you next week. I'm on a bit of a tear right now. So, I could have slapped the title Fallout 4 VR on anything, and it would have gotten 6,000 views. I had an advantage of being... I got it out really early. I stayed up for most of the night doing that video, editing it, and P.S. don't edit if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Record when it's 3 o'clock in the morning, because that makes for great footage. But editing at 3 o'clock in the morning, I was making so many mistakes. I kept having to redo it. But I pushed that thing out as soon as it was physically possible for me to do it. So I got the jump a little bit on some people too. And I turned around and it's got 6,000 views. The thing is, though, it's never going to get any more views. That's done. That video is entirely tapped out on views. I very much doubt that will get a single more view. I think anyone here, including Penge, would agree with me that the more important things are things like a Tavern Tycoon or a Stellar Tactics or Crossroads, or in Penge's case, Guild 3, where there can be resurgences and waves of new views coming in. The Atomic Society video that I did a bazillion years ago. I did it on, like, the beta. a million years ago, long before it was even in early access, I did a video on Atomic Society. That still generates views. That's the stuff I want. Fallout 4 VR was great, and Fallout 4 VR is a great game if you play VR because you're wandering around the Commonwealth. But that video is done. That video is dead. It's never going to have anything else happen there. Earlier, I asked people here how they discovered your channel. Oh, that's how this is coming out. Okay, thank you, Barbara. I'm kind of half looking at RimWorld, and chat is just going frantically by, so I'm trying to keep up. I don't like the explodey boomalope wandering around either, but the explodey boomalope does make new chem fuel, so that is rather good. Penge has good content and is entertaining. Penge's style is more energetic, which isn't better, just different. Energetic? Is it energetic? Am I less energetic than Penge? I've always thought Penge is more laid back. My wife does. Mrs. Dave is, I don't often put Penge up on the big TV because it annoys her when I watch game. It doesn't annoy her when I watch gaming videos. That's 100% not true. That was a falsehood. She is very happy to let me put any gaming videos up on the channel, but she's not interested. So she kind of tunes out and puts her headphones on and watches something on her laptop. But when I do put Penge on, she does say that she finds his voice very relaxing. She likes Penge. She likes Many a True Nerd too. I think it's the British thing. So do you feel that? Okay, here's my question. Do we feel that Penge is more energetic than me? Is it a more high energy video? Because now I'm curious. Now I feel I have to up my game a little bit. Atomic Society had some updates still. Focus negotiable. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, there are persons of negotiable affections in Atomic Society. Every now once in a blue moon, people say, hey, why don't you go back to Atomic Society? Several people have said, would you go back to Stellar Tactics, because there have been so many updates to it. I hate to do repeats. I really do. I wouldn't actually mind going back to Stellar Tactics because there have been a ton of new things. The problem with that is I kind of have to start from day one and build up my character and my party all over again. And as we've discussed many, many times, I don't got that kind of time. That just ain't going to happen. I do not have that kind of time. Which hunter lacks a ranged weapon? Bamaloo. We should have a few extra guns floating around. Yeah, there you go. Go take that rifle. Wake up and go get a rifle. Wake up and arm yourself. Depends on how many whoa moments the day video has. Hello, Sausage Master. That came out of nowhere. Just kind of tooling around the map, and there's Sausage Master. Okay, right. Master of Sausage, one hopes. Penge is laid back, you're energetic, different but good both. Yeah, I as we kind of already said, I absolutely feel we have two very different styles, but I think viewers of one will often be cool with viewing the other. I think there's a lot of back and forth. I think I don't know why, but I do kind of know why, because although we have different styles, they do tend to be sort of, I don't know, bumbling around games and hoping for the best. There's an Aurora. How delightful. How delightful. Basically, there's two types of YouTube game uploaders. Players, those who use abrasive language and being clowns, yes, agreed. And those who use family and adult language with a dose of humor. I 100% agree with you, Nikos. And I don't generally watch the first category. The guy, and because, well, first of all, they're often not playing the games that I want to watch. But you're right. It's just sort of racing around. It's either completely unedited, which is awful. Dead air kills me. Dead air kills me when I'm viewing something. I don't want to hear dead air. I am, just as you guys are giving me your time now, and I am incredibly respectful of that, when I am watching someone else, I'm giving them my time. I am coming closer to death watching your video. So please do not put dead air in there. I have a universal rule when I'm editing stuff, because the best advice I got early on was edit, 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 and when you're done editing, edit it some more, and then slash it some more, and then cut 50% of it off, and maybe after that you can start editing it. Something to that effect. So I have a kind of a golden rule, a universal rule when I'm doing stuff is, if I'm not talking and I don't feel it's entertaining. So if I'm not saying something which at least I consider to be vaguely entertaining or talking about the game in some way, if I'm not talking and it's a cutscene that has no relevance to the game, if basically all dead air gets cut out. I want something going on at all times. I want you to be able to listen to something at all times. So any concept of dead air gets immediately cut out. This goes back to the two types of gaming video things. A lot of those just people who just play a game, there is either unedited with a ton of dead air. And they're like, oh my God, look at this thing over here. And then it's like 30 seconds of dead air. And then, oh, I totally shot that dude. And then another 45 seconds of dead air. Makes me mental. That's an immediate click off for me. Or it's people who are really, really good at the game. Now, that might be okay. If I was looking to get really good at a game, I might watch that. But you're right. They go over the top. What they're doing is they're putting on a show. They're putting on... And this has kind of been... Who now... Dave Navarro needs a weapon. Is that wise? Is that wise? I'm going to give Dave Navarro a pump-action shotgun and see what happens in the world. They're putting on an act. They're putting on a show. They're playing a character. Is that terrible? No. Actors do that every day. Actors do that every single day. But it doesn't work for me. And because we talked about this, and this seems to be kind of the theme of this chat this week, is I can't BS you guys. They can. Maybe they can. It doesn't often work for me. I can usually sniff right through that and go, you're putting on an act. You're going over the top because you think that's what people want to watch. And you know what? Chances are the people I'm saying that about are probably way more successful than me because they are going over the top and they know their market, and their market is kids. My market is not kids. My market has never been kids. If you look at my analytics, my numbers are not kids. The people who watch my stuff are grown-ups for the most part. My demographic is not teenagers and children by any stretch of the imagination. Not that I am not welcoming to anyone who watches the channel. I'd love to hit 2K sooner rather than later. But as an aside, but I'm not saying kids aren't welcome here. I'm just saying that's not who watches my channel. It never has been. It's always been for grown-ups. Not that there's adult-themed things here, although there's Sausage Master. But it's just we're all grown-ups. We have an age, and we're perhaps a little I'm gonna use this term very loosely, a little more mature than someone who's gonna watch like Fortnite Noob Crash 1 or something. Bulk Goods, where are you? Oh, were you in the thingamajiggy, the range here of this thing. Okay, who's really good at chit-chatting? I think it's Stabby. Stabby's Social 8. Oh, wait, is it Mech? Yeah, Mech's the chatty one. Go call those guys. We're going to get some trading going on here. I should also get caught up on chat. Belongs to the second group. That's why I started to follow you, even though we're a late follower regarding the rest. Nikos, everyone is welcome, man. Everyone is welcome. I know Ray in particular has been going right through my catalog, and I'm kind of concerned that Ray's going to run out of things to watch. But Ray prefers videos raw, but I still watch me. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't. And that's just a personal preference. I don't like raw, uncut footage because, again, the dead air thing. But to each their own. And as I always say, you can like a thing and I can dislike a thing, and we're both right. That's the awesome thing about what we're doing here. Do I want turkeys? No, they're the spawn of evil. Spawn of evil. I could get another hen. I could get several other hens. Do I want that? No, I'm probably not going to do that. What else you got? You got cows, you got camels. I'm broadly okay with that. You have a fair amount. You have 1,610 pieces of human meat. I don't want to do business with you. This is a passing cargo spaceship full of human meat. Full of human meat. I'm not really sure I want to do business with you. Nutrient I'm surprisingly good on. I will actually take... How much? I don't have a ton of silver. Do you have steel? Let's get to the heart of the matter here. Do you have steel? Yes, you do. 603 of it at 210. How much to buy all of it? I'm going to go ahead and probably take that. Plasteel, how much you got of that? Ooh, quite a bit, but I'm not going to be able to afford that much. I'm going to take, 25. 25 plasteel. That seems like an acceptable amount. Do I have any drugs I can unload on you? Because I don't want Dave Navarro getting into them. No, I actually don't have any drugs on hand. All right, that's fine. Well, good. Dave Navarro won't have an issue. I'm just going to sell literally every piece of clothing. We can always make more. How are we doing on statues? I know we made a few, but you're not interested? I get a gold helmet. That seems excessive. I don't think we need that. Are you guys seriously not interested in my statues? I thought everyone bought statues. And I'm probably just going right past them. This is one of those key moments of, it's right in front of your face. Oh, wait, you have advanced components. Yeah, I don't care. I'll buy those. Those are really hard to come by. And it's going to be a while before I'm able to make them. Do I want to sell any of my animals? Not really. No, I'm pretty good with what I got. Yeah, I'm just going to accept that. There we go. Okay, back to chat here. DC says he'll fix your door. He broke. You'll cut that out too. Well, Ray, the thing with Craft the World is I had a catastrophic audio issue where when we recorded, it recorded my voice and not anybody else's. So I had to I didn't have to have him. Graham DeVell offered to cut out his audio and send it to me, which he did. And then I kind of had to knit everything together. But his audio levels were really, really low, and it was hard to balance them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Long story short, that was an editing nightmare. We're going to hopefully try to record some more of that tomorrow with BirdieBot. I think BirdieBot is joining us on that one. And I'm going to have to sort out my audio issues first before we do that. Grown up with a unicorn in the thumbnail, wholeheartedly agrees. Good, Barbara. Welcome. Sausage Master, no pants, fashion styles, penguins of negotiable affections. Yeah, but it's all done in a very mature manner. It's completely mature. Completely mature. Dead air silencers for AK rifles. I originally subscribed to your channel. It's not at all, oh my goodness, sugar high craziness, usually geared towards the younger crowd. No, it never will be. Sorry, Gil. It never ever will be. That's so not me. That's not me in the real world. And what I am in the real world is basically what I am here. I'm not the, oh my god, shoot that guy, shoot that guy. It's just not going to happen. Not ever going to happen. Spike Little Girl, which takes the Crossroads Inn roadmap for the year. Yeah, because it's really good. There's some darn good stuff coming up and in the near future. Do they have snakes? Are we talking about Crossroads? Because they might. We're getting pets. Maybe we can get snakes. Your internet is being stupid. Oh, I'm sorry, Willow. You know what? You're not going to miss much because we're kind of coming up on that 2-hour mark, and I really should go eat food. I really, really should go eat food at any time. I'm just kind of scrolling up and down chat for a second to see if there's anything vitally important that I missed. I mean, everything you guys say is vitally important to me because you're giving me your time. So it's all important to me. But I just want to make sure I wasn't called out on something or something needed a question answered. No, it does not look like it. So with that being said, guys, we had so many people in chat. I am so happy. I am so respectful of you guys giving me your time. I really appreciate it. But yeah, Willow, don't even worry about it. We'll call it here. We'll pick up some more of this next time with this RimWorld nonsense. Maybe next time we'll play RimWorld. Why? We haven't done it for weeks. Why start now? I say, why start now? We'll just WASD around the screen. But thank you guys so much for coming by. You know I look forward to this every single week. I say it every single week. I get up on Monday. I can't wait for Friday for this to happen. I have been jazzed for this all day because I genuinely, for me, it's just like hanging out with a cool group of friends every weekend. That's what it is for me. Hopefully you guys get some entertainment too. And then occasionally we talk about koalas. But I will call the stream there. Guys, thank you so much for coming by. You achieve 2 things, chem fuel, and also you can kill raiders a lot faster. Yeah, all that. Thank you guys so much for coming by. I really, really appreciate it. We'll do it again next week. As always, you guys have a great rest of your day. Go do far more important things than watching me stream RimWorld, or at least I think I'm playing RimWorld. Thank you guys so much. Goodbye, and goodbye.